Little Red Riding Hood.
Jane is a young girl. She has a red coat with a hood, so she is called Little Red Riding Hood. One day, her mother says,
Jane, take this food to your grandma. She lives in the forest.
Jane says,
Yes, Mother.
her mother says,
But be careful. Don't speak to anyone.
Jane takes the food from her mother. She goes into the forest. She thinks,
The forest is dark and scary.
she walks a long way. After an hour, she meets a wolf. The wolf says, Hello, where are you going?
But be careful. Don't speak to anyone.
Jane remembers her mother's words. Jane does not speak to the wolf. The wolf thinks, she's Little Red Riding Hood. Her grandmother lives in the forest. The wolf runs to the house in the forest. The wolf knocks on Grandma's door. Grandma says,
Who's there?
and the wolf says,
It's Jane.
Grandma opens the door. The wolf says, Hello, Grandma, and he pushes her into a cupboard. Grandma shouts,
No!
Jane knocks on Grandma's door, and the wolf says,
Who's there?
Jane says,
It's Jane.
the wolf says,
Come in, my dear.
Jane goes in and sees the wolf. He is sitting in Grandma's bed and wearing Grandma's clothes. Jane sees the wolf's big eyes. Jane says,
You have very big eyes, Grandma.
the wolf says,
Oh, they help me to see you, my dear.
Jane sees the wolf's big ears. She says,
You have very big ears, Grandma.
he says,
Oh, they help me to hear you, my dear.
Jane sees the wolf's big teeth. She says,
You have very big teeth, Grandma.
the wolf says, they help me to eat you, my dear. The wolf jumps out of bed and Jane screams. A man in the forest hears the scream and he runs to the house. He says, What's the problem? He sees the wolf and he says, Get out, wolf! The wolf runs out of the house. Grandma says,
Help! Help!
Jane opens the cupboard and Grandma gets out. Jane says,
Are you okay, Grandma?
Grandma says,
I'm okay. Now.